All right. What is going on, my friends? Hope you're doing fantastic. I should have changed the angle here, but that's all right. But today, what I wanted to talk about was how we treat fear. All right. I talked about this shiznix in my shorts too and whatnot, but a lot of look, if you don't know, I'm a huge anime fan, right? And if you watch a lot of anime, if you watch a lot of anime and you see the main characters, right, they don't approach fear the same way a lot of us do, right? Obviously, yes, I know it's a Japanese cartoon. Clearly, they're going to be a bit different. But who's to say we can't model our lives like anime characters, right? Look at people like Naruto, Luffy, um, uh, Baki, or who's the dude from Demon Slayer? I forgot his name. I haven't watched it in so long. People like them, right? I'll even go to some more obscure anime like Kaiju number 8, Kafta. I think that was his name, something like that. But anytime they get into a situation where fear is going to usually stop a person, like all the side characters, they're too scared to act, they're too scared to do anything. The main characters, they end up overcoming that fear. They end up saying, screw that shiznix. I am going to push forward regardless. All right. And sure, do they get their butts handed to them sometimes? Yes. But they end up either like winning or they end up losing, but they become stronger next time because they learned lessons from that battle, and then they're able to beat that villain or that enemy, whatever, or like beat their rival, whatever the flip it is. All right. And so like you can even see that in stuff like Naruto, right? Like he faces his fears often. He's over here getting his butt handed to him by other characters. Not even Naruto. I say even more so Luffy, right? Because he's over here getting his butt handed to him in some of these gosh dang videos, and it's like he might lose at first, but then he ends up getting stronger afterwards. Even when these other characters feared that feared that enemy, all right? And so why can't we just take that same dang approach? I've come up with like a couple points I think would help. All right. Number one of the reasons that I feel like anime characters have such a good handle on, or main characters at least, have such a good handle on being able to handle their fears is because they understand just how much they'll grow from it, for one, right? They don't look at these fears as I'm going to die. They might look at it like that at first, but then they're like, but I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to become super strong after this fight or whatever it is, right? We can embody that same kind of shiznix, all right? That same ideology. Number two, they have strong principles that they believe in, right? Look at people like Naruto or Luffy, or I'll even give some other ones. Look at I haven't watched Bleach in so dang long, but him, right? He ends up finding these people who are supposed to be stronger than him, but they all have this identity, this mission, more so to save their friends. That's the word I'll use, mission. They had this mission to save their friends. And because that mission is so strong, they said, screw fear, I'm going to do this shiznix anyways, right? And so that's the second thing. If we can have a mission that is stronger than our fears, then it's going to be a lot easier to overcome our fears. And that ties into the third thing, which I kind of talked about a little bit, but identity, right? If we can identify as somebody who can overcome their fears, it's going to make it 10 times easier to take that action to overcome our fears, right? Now, if we want to identify as some kind of way, we have to be able to take action towards that identity. I can't just wake up and say, I'm the kind of person that overcomes my fears. Positive affirmations, they're cool. But if you actually start to take action on something, then you start identifying as that thing. It's like, I'm not going to call myself a power lifter if I've never power lifted, right? Or I haven't powerlifted in a while, which is why I don't consider myself a powerlifter anymore, though I'm going to build back up to that because I haven't powerlifted in a long time, right? But once you start taking actions towards that identity, then you start to take that identity on, right? So that's the third thing. What kind of identity do you want to take on in the future? That's what these characters end up thinking about. Yes, I know they're fake, but if they were real life characters, I'd say that's what they're thinking about, right? They're thinking of, how can I become the kind of person that does put my mission to protect my friends over this fear? How can I become the kind of person that ends up, growing a ton from this fear I have, from facing this fear? If we can keep those three things intact, my friends, you become so gosh dang powerful. You have no idea, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. Next time you encounter a fear, keep that shizzix in mind. How can I learn from overcoming this fear? Like, how can I learn from, encountering this fear, going against this fear? How can I put my big mission above my fear, or what is my big mission? And then what is the first action I can do to take on this new identity that I want to take on, right? Because if you want to be the main character of your own story, if you want to actually stop being the side character in the story you should be the main character of, you've got to work to get that identity, all right? You are already an epic person, but it's about time you realize that and start taking action to realize that. All right, squad. So hopefully this video was nice for you. I know it's a bit more raw, but I'm not going to do any big edits on my stuff. I just want you to hear it as it is, because that's the kind of person I am, right? So, yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. My goal is to put all these out except for Sunday, because Sunday is the Lord's Day, and ideally we rest. Even if you don't believe in God, you should rest too. All right, squad. Till next time, peace.